What up, everybody? What's up? Hey, hey, hey! What did Courtney won tonight? No way! No way! That's crazy! Did this move? Or it just, I think we're good there. There we go. How we, what is? Whoa! Woo! It's spacey! Hey, let me know if the music's too loud, y'all. Hey, what's up, mini? Let me know if the music's too loud. I got it kind of low on my side. What's up, DW? I don't want it too loud, blowing out your ears. I don't think I saw this. Loud. It's a bit loud. Yep. Okay, gotcha. Whoa. Let me drop. Ooh, that was. Why was that all? No worries, DW. We understand. All right, now we're turning it back up. There we go. We're gonna get these music levels one day. One day. All right. Hey, what's up, Allie? The new place is looking snazzy. The new salon, I like it. How was it? Second day went amazing. That's awesome. That's good to hear. Good to hear. Good to hear. DW, how far are you behind? How far are you behind? We only did 2 chapters yesterday. Awesome. Awesome. I'm glad your clients followed you around. That is good stuff. Is that the Dr. Lego? Dr. Lego! Oh, nice, Courtney. I hope it went well for you last time. I think a couple of people, it got a couple of people. Rune got a couple of people last time. Seeing if it keeps you interested. All right, there you go. There you go. I get it. I get it. Well, I'll tell you what. Since y'all are here, and I don't know how long. You said you didn't fall. You was laughing your butt. Nice, nice. The last thing I remember clearly, there was a catheter gets ripped out. Ah, nice. Yeah. The catheter in the... Ouch, that hurt. That hurt like a mother. Ooh, that put me into some pain, too. Oofda, oofda. You're playing about, I have all the audacities. That's funny. If y'all saw what Liz was doing right now, you just wouldn't even... I'm telling you. Woo! Well, here. I'll tell you what. We had a moment of silence. It was a moment of silence. It was that moment of silence that stopped it, huh? That's what it was. It was the moment of silence. And she was like, it got quiet. That's funny. What you need, love? That's funny. Oh, hail the high lady. Oh, hail. She's like, yeah, probably it was. That's funny. Ooh, it just said Allie Grace is going to reach level 17 soon. I don't know what the levels mean, but Allie Grace, you're going to reach level 17 soon. Ooh. Is it me or is that screen flickering? I swear, if something else breaks today, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it. Hey, Em, what's up? What's up? Probably. Oh. Well, that one figured. Oh, thank you for the club. All right, ready? Here. Well, we got to start out. Here we go. Ready?
Rune Danon, Crown Prince of the Valbaran.
Oh yeah, we added. Oh. What? What happened? What happened? What's up, Pete? What'd you say? I think since there's more than we moved 11. 11. I don't know. I haven't had it yet. Level 18, yay! I have no, we're learning what the levels are, yes. All right, so really quick, since we got here before everybody leaves, guess what?
The mail's here. Let's go. Here's the mail, it never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When it comes, I want to wail. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Wonder who it's from.
All right, so this is, I don't know what it is. We're going to figure it out. Apparently, one of them got here the other day, but was put in a wrong box, and then it was given back to. So I don't know what's happening. We're going to figure out what's going on. So we're going to see. We're opening the packages now. I blame Blue's Clues mail time for my shopping. There we go. I don't know what it is. I think I want to. I don't know. I want to say it's like stickers. That was my initial thought. It says, "Thank you for trusting our shop and supporting. Please know that it's a thank you card." We got a thank you card. Ooh. We got a thank you card. I wonder if this is another thank you card. I think we figured out what happened. I think we know what happens now. I think we figured out what happened. Okay, I think I know what happened now. If the conversation, I don't know. We'll find out. But somebody shipped a thank you card. What? That's so funny. My brain was confused. I don't know. This is kind of funny. I think it maybe. I don't know. Let's see what's on this side. It feels about the same size. So maybe this is why. You said they would got. Maybe that's why. Maybe they forgot to put the. Oh, I bet that's why. Yep, it's another one. That's hilarious. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't you, Carissa. It wasn't you and Rune. Ah! It was them. It was them. Ah! They messed. Ah! It is, Courtney. Exactly. Wasteful. That's what I was about to say. That's what I'm like. So I think what happened is she ordered the shirts, and I think they forgot to send the shirts, so they canceled the order, and then they sent another, but we got the shirts. So yeah, the Rune Danon ones. That say Rune Danon and have his picture. The last ones that she sent us, the last Rune Danon ones.
Maybe they forgot to include the thing, wanted to follow up thing.
But I think at one point she was saying they were canceled, so maybe they forgot to send the order, realizing because they didn't send the shirts. Cancel. Who knows? Who knows? But that's funny. Now just think, one of these got put in the wrong box and was picked up by somebody, went to their home, they realized it, and had to bring it back. That is so. I'm sorry. That's kind of funny. That's kind of fun. When did we updated that today? Yes, we updated that button today because it was getting the you're gonna get in trouble. We getting so we said okay, and we fixed. Well, we didn't fix him, but we just
We did our best.
we did our best, and then also we kind of made a command decision of it's hard to have people on a button if I don't know who the people are. So we took the people that I didn't know on the button. We took them off and put people on. Would you like to see it again? I know that it does go kind of fast. Where we were thinking that we might, because some of the pictures double up, so you will see double up pictures. We might just take half the pictures out and see if we can extend the pictures on the beat, but then it'll just be longer, so it all depends. But anyway, let's look at it again. Tell me what you think. Yeah, I think it is too fast. We might have to lower it and then try to figure out how to get the beats right with the pictures so they look good. I think we're gonna have to do that. I think we're gonna have to. But I will say this much. Okay, I will say this. You know, there's nobody knows what Ray looks like. Y'all realize that? Oh, Ray Galtung. You know, there's no description of him. We left one kingfisher pic? Where? Well, see, that's the thing. Like, we don't know exactly which one. Which one did she commission? Because I've only seen like the ones posted in the cord. We looked at those. I thought we looked at those. We looked at those. The one down in the ashen art, right? Ashen art. So that one picture of the Karaka book art, that one, is that the one you're talking about? Because if that's the one, because we were just saying, like, we looked, like, we pulled up the book, we read, and what we were just saying is it was crazy because we searched the book part when they introduced him, we searched the gaggle, and we even used the GPT, and we said, hey, like, by Demi Winner or book only, what is a physical description array? And she doesn't give one. They say he's a warrior build. He has dark, curly, Viking-inspired hair with the piercing axe eyes, striking blue eyes. But there was no, like, he's not 6'2", 230, built like a tree. He has olive colored skin. There's nothing like that of him. And we were just like, wow, okay. So we had to take the pictures that y'all sent us, and that's how lists came out, and we got this pic right here at the beginning. I should have told you I was going to start it. But yes. She said, again, I have tunnel vision and Satan and Reese's. All right, here we go. One more again.
The sins that we call love.
Pick 18? All right. All right, we're gonna go. All right, everybody count with us. Here we go. Pick 18. Y'all are gonna wear this, but I am gonna be editing this song out of the stream. Oh my lord! If y'all only knew what she was doing. All right, here we go. 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I lost it. 19. Okay, 19. I have to count again. No, you're good. I lost. I looked at something else, so I lost count. All right, here we go. One more again. All right, pick 19. Okay, 19. Here we go. Fast. I don't know. Not yet. 19 is ruined. That's what I was like. 19 looked like ruined to me. But yeah, it's definitely too fast. We will try to adjust it tomorrow. So tomorrow my day has completely changed because the blondes are not the blondes. That is actually Kane. That's Kane. It's Kane. That's Kane. Yes. But yeah, I have to do my shot tomorrow, and then I got to make a quick run to the grocery store, and then yeah, my other computer broke, so I don't have another computer right now. So I'll update another button or two. You just posted them? Okay. Thank you. I will check right now. I'm just going to pull them up, check right now. Where did you put them in? In the Ashen? Okay, yeah, I saw those. Right, yeah. We our boy. I'm not sure I like Cass. I'm not sure I like the way Cass looks. But anyway, digressing. I like our Cass better, but that's okay. It's okay. Anyway. All right. Those are cool, and they're beautiful. They're beautiful images. I'm not talking bad about nothing, but yeah, I think I like this a little bit better. Look a little. But anyway, digressing. Wise, if you need something to break that's not yours, you're more than welcome to break some toys. You're funny. Break some toys. What do you mean break toys? What does that mean? Break toys? I don't like to break toys because I usually gotta fix them. Not like the beast is talking about. Right. You need to get rid of some Bebop's toys. I gotcha. Well, I mean, if you want to send them to me, and then I can handle that and then send them back if you want. But that seems like a waste. I mean, why don't you just have little man say, "Hey, let's practice using a hammer. Why don't you teach him the proper way to use a hammer and start working on that hand-eye coordination?" You know what I'm saying? Like, bam, bam, bam. That could be fun. You know what I'm saying? Start with a rubber mallet. You know, that way he doesn't smash his little toesies. Bam. I'm just saying. You know, there's modern problems need modern solutions. You know what I mean? If y'all see, oh Lord. All right.
Stop looking over here. I'm feeling so judged right now.
Oh no, I'm loving what you're doing. That's the problem. I'm loving what you're doing. All right. So.
Made me nervous.
You know the sad thing is I want to do the other two, but we can't yet. The other two. I don't know when to. Huh? No, but I don't know when we can. I don't even know when to do that. So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna used to take the batteries out to pretend they were broken. That's legit. That's not. Oh my God, that's so far away. I have to wait until that. Okay. I hate waiting so long. And I can't even do that until...
Read faster, ho.
Read faster, ho. I'm gonna read like that one guy I saw on that one talent show. He was like, I'm the world's fastest... I mean, I already knows what happened technically. I already technically knows what happens.
Wait, I've got it. got it hacked.
Got it hacked. She's got it hacked. Explaining, Lita? What would you like me to explain? We'll explain it all. I'm sorry. What's up?
Ask Liz Face to come out here
Okay.
and have her read it. She reads way faster. She will read that on 1.5 speed. You won't even have to hold down the screen. She will just.
So.
And then she will take you all the way to chapter 2.
Right? For real. Okay. Hey, question. So apparently, I didn't catch it, but apparently Lizface did because she reads a lot better. She's a lot gooder and faster reader than I is. Apparently, the word was funnel, and I said funeral. Apparently there was it was funnel, and I said funeral, and I guess nobody caught it. Nobody said nothing. Apparently, I don't know. So. I don't know what happened. She's all like, and then unfortunately she's like, my dad can't read for nothing because he's a weirdo, and hurry up, Dad, you're reading so slow. So she was doing her little twitchity, and I was like, no, and it felt so bad. Oh, she would be, she read Anne of Green Gables in one day, y'all. I'm just gonna say, in the 5th grade, and scored an 85 on the test on it. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, really quick. All right. So we're going to do our quick review of last night's read because we have notes. Because we do have notes. Because Minnie Wise took some notes. So, Minnie Wise took some notes. What's up, you?
I did not tell you a single thing that happened in Anne of Green Gables.
Well, not now, but...
No, even after I read it, the tests went in chronological order of what happened in the book, so I would skim through the book and I would take that test.
Well, you know what? I was just bragging about you, and you just come out of here and pull the charade
Get
out.
your facts
Good
right.
Lord. Well, I was factually correct. All right. Okay, so, all right. I don't know. I know there's a, dang it, that light puts a, all right. So just so you remember if, stupid light. All right. Anyway, last night, what happened? He woke up. He don't know where he at. He thinking a spaceship, the radius, and a pendulum, and he pulled a tube out of his pee-pee in his booty hole, and it hurt really bad. And there's a Petrova line that goes from Venus to Uranus. No, I mean from Venus to fucking the sun. And the sun is losing 0.01%. And in years, it's going to be bad. And we're all going to be fucked. That's what's happening. She is an honest kid, trust me. And funniest thing about her, until like she was a sophomore, she wouldn't break the rules. It was hilarious. Yeah, you gooner. That's what your shirt says. I'm just reading your shirt.
They got me the shirt.
Just reading your shirt. Oh, God. Oh, okay.
Don't hurt
But anyway,
yourself.
I already did.
Oh,
I hurt myself daily.
don't hurt yourself.
Not in a bad way, TikTok. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. I'm just being safe. Okay, so does anybody else need the update on where we're at right now? He knows 2 + 2 is 4. He doesn't know his name. He's tried Captain Toga and Captain Calculus, but apparently that didn't work. No, I'm just playing. He didn't say Captain Calculus because he's not cool enough to be Captain Calculus. I know the real Captain Calculus. Huh? You don't know who Captain Calculus is? Oh, girl, if you don't know who Captain Calculus is, then you just need. Woo! You do not know about Captain Calculus. You need, yes.
That
see?
Discord scares me. Last time I opened, I got Dragon Dong.
Emily's Captain Calculus. She had to do a video, and there was a calculus, and oh, look, there's a problem in the fort in the tree, but it's a tree fort. The fort is on the ground, so it's a fort. It's the writing is supreme. It is supreme. You would actually love it. You would actually love it. So, all right, well, excuse me. Why? What's up, baby girl? What you doing? You making another necklace?
Yeah.
Nice. She's making necklaces. We're going to a concert later on this year. She's making necklaces for me. You got to make sure they do the whole black light and strobe light so they shine in the dark. You know what I'm saying? You got to use them. That's what I'm saying. You got to use those bright colors. Bright colors so we can see. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. What is it? Living Tombstone? The Living Tombstone. That's where we're going. It was yeah. The Living Tombstone. Crazy madness. All right. So we are about to get started tonight because I know I know chapter 3. It says it is 45 minutes for normal readers. So with me, that means it's probably like an hour and a half. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Yes. Yeah. About it's average. It says 30 sometimes, and I do it in 20. It just depends on how many, like when you flip back and forth and pause. But yeah, I understand that. Okay. I know how it works. What? That's why I said 45 minutes. And then you said an hour and a half. No? Because there's commentary and everything else. Like we joke around, we talk, we have chats. Good Lord. Go put your laundry away. I just did it. Ha! Okay, back ordered my ice cream. Oh, that's funny. Did you get you a popsicle? I love it. I love it. So when you read alone, you're faster, but it takes us longer. Yes, when I read alone, when I read silently, I read a lot faster. A lot faster. A lot faster. But when... yeah, with y'all, we stop, we talk, so it's a little slower. That's why I'm always like, I can definitely get that many. And I'm like, no, I'm reading out loud, and I get nervous at times. So...
did you tell him about the chair?
I was about to start reading, but no, you're right. We got 3 minutes, so I'll be serious. So, as you see, Liz, right there. Sorry, she takes herself out of the screen again. Back in the screen. Back out of the screen. Not in the screen. She ordered herself a matching chair for herself. For Liz's day. I don't know. So y'all remember how we ordered the new table, right? And then we got the table and then it was missing parts. So she had to talk to the people and they had to send us a new table. And that table box was jacked up and the tops were broken and scratched. So we had to take the tabletop from the first order, but the frame from the second order to make the table, right? So we got the chair. So she got the chair today. Well, as you notice, she's missing armrests because they didn't send the armrests. So
Home Depot hates me.
the last 3 things she's ordered from the HD has just been complete. Exactly. Hullabaloo. It's a complete. So we are waiting. It is wild. So, but she has a new chair to match. And then, yeah. So that's happening. And as she's as she's putting together the chair and noticing this is when I'm turning on my other PC to go do my normal stuff as part of my routine. And it doesn't turn on. And I'm like, well, what the hell's happening? So I'm like, okay, let me backtrack this. I'm like, I'm wall socket. No, I got power here. Let me check my, okay, fuse box, power. I come over here, power, electrical cord, power, cable, power, take it apart, clean it out completely, undo the power supply, take the power supply out, put a pin on jumper 16 and 17, plug it in. Hey, it's now got power. Crap, that means my motherboard's fried. Or it could be the CMOS battery. It could be my RAM. It could be my second slot. Maybe my third. Maybe my fourth slot of RAM. Maybe my hard drive took a shit. Maybe my GPU took a shit. You know what? I don't have the test parts for this shit anymore.
That was annoying.
So that was today.
Armor. Shoulder armor.
Yes, he's got some shoulder armor on. She said, not the second slot. Huh. Did you ever hear about the side hole? Anyway, digressing. Oh, that was a funny one day. T-words like what? What?
Me too, girl.
Elmo, no big words.
We used to come home from work like, hey, how was your day? And he'd come up and like half of the things he said would be acronyms, and I'm still trying to figure out what the second thing he said was. And he's on the 8th, and I'm like, so you had a bad day?
I'm like, no, it was just a Tuesday. What? What did you say? No.
What do you mean?
All right. Okay. So, Runes over want to show them our TV. What? Hey, all, Prime has a deal where you get Paramount Plus for 99 cents a month for 2 months. Oh. That's okay. I don't know what Mr. Raz does for work. Uh-oh. I saw Steve Harvey. You know, I saw Steve Harvey. He was doing the Steve Harvey show one time, and the lady was like, so I don't know what my husband does for work. And he was like, he's a schmug schmealer. I was like, what did you say? Anybody ever see that one? No, Bruce, I don't. Bruce, what's up? I wish you were here, but you know what? I do computer a little bit. The problem is I just don't have an abundance of supply parts where I could just be like, hey, I just want to take this out and try it. Instead, I would have to disassemble it and go one by one. Unless you remember, that was the way I was always told, and you always told me to do when a PC doesn't power on, but you got power to the power supply. You have to take everything out, starting with you got to leave the hard drive, but you got to make sure that you got to take all the RAM out. You got to take the GPU out. You got to make sure, and then you got to turn it on, and you got to test power at the pins. And I don't want to figure out where my pin power is on the motherboard. I'm just saying. I don't know. If you live closer to me, you could help me. But no, I'm just playing. All right. Anyway, he's an accountant. That was a good movie. Is he an accountant? Oh, is he an accountant? Is he an account? Ooh. Is he an accountant? Accountant. Ooh, is he accountant like The Office? That's funny. The accountant. He's a spy. Shh. Wait. Was he my TikTok spy? Was Mr. Raz my TikTok spy before they were sold? I bet that's what Mr. Raz did. I bet he was a TikTok spy. He was our TikTok spy. That's why he likes all of us so much. And he lets you be friends with me. Because he's like, okay, this weirdo's pretty cool. You can be friends. That's what it was. What are you doing with that? When do I get to put... probably not today, mate. Y'all don't understand. He shall never reveal his super sneaky... Listen, the Razzes are good at super sneaky secrets. Y'all are good at super sneaky secrets. All right. I don't know. Can y'all hear what she's doing? He's Batman? That's funny. Do y'all hear her in the packing tape? Do y'all hear the... He's an international man of... Is he Austin Powers? Somebody said yes, somebody said no. Maybe, possibly. Yes.
Too loud? Like annoying loud? Be honest.
Is it annoying loud? She said, be honest. You can't lie to lady this.
Don't lie to me.
Don't lie. Ooh, she said that in her mama voice.
Don't
What?
I'll take the truth even if it hurts. Don't lie to me.
And she's like, I'm not listening. She's like, Bruce says no. Pixie says no. Bella says no. Oh, they made a spinoff of young Sheldon. You talking about with his brother? Yeah, that's a pretty good one. I don't remember his name. But yeah. It's actually, I've watched a few episodes. It's pretty good. George and Mandy have a baby in their first. Yeah. Listen, it's really good. I've seen a few episodes and a few clips. It's pretty good. I like it. I like young Sheldon. I like Sheldon too. Oh, I got you. Yeah, you'll enjoy it. Yes, the new Ted Lasso season 4 coming out. I'm excited for that one. I can't wait till we watch. Liz didn't want to watch it. Liz did not want to watch Ted Lasso. She's like, it's fucking soccer. And I'm like, just trust me. She's like, have you watched it? And I'm like, no, I've only seen TikTok videos of it. She's like, are you serious? And I'm like, yes, just watch it. And she's like, okay, fine. Man, what was it after this first episode? You were like, all right.
It's such a good show. And it's like the soccer is so secondary.
Yeah. So we're excited for the new season to come out. Football is life. Yes. So I think we're gonna watch it with the kids. I don't know. They might watch it one day, but we're doing the new Spider-Mans now. We finished our MCU all the way up to Endgame, and then we took a quick break. We went back, did the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and then we just did Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. They like, believe it or not, they like Andrew Garfield's Spider. I didn't think they would. I agree too, but they liked Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man better than Tobey's. I didn't think they would. They did not see the ending coming, I'll tell you what. Ooh. And then we just watched Far From Home. So they just did Far From Home now. And did that. So as far as like, I think as far as the way we kind of go, like Tobey Maguire is the Peter Parker, where Andrew Garfield is Spider-Man, and then Tom Holland is just a merge of both of them. You know what I mean? And that's how the way I look of it. But if I look at like individual performances, that's kind of how it is. So, but yeah. So the next one, I'm excited for them to watch the next one. I'm excited because they haven't seen it yet. So we can't. Make sure we don't spoil know what happens in the next one. They just did Far From Home, so now they're gonna do whatever the third one is. We're doing that one tomorrow before we come out and stream. But anyway, Mean Girls the musical.
It's been a musical.
Yeah. All right. So I think it is time. It's 8:30. Are we ready to get back into space? All right. And then apparently we don't meet Rocky till chapter 10. So lame. But anyway, let's get into it. Project Hail Mary. A wise telling. Make sure I got the buttons. Listen, we forgot about the buttons, didn't we? Like, people been forgetting about the buttons. Don't forget. I be paying attention. Every 5K, we get a button. Oh no, you don't have your Kindle. No. Get in, losers. We're going to. Yes, exactly. Bye, DW. We'll see you tomorrow. Oh, no worry, Allie. Yo, tell Mama we said hi. Hopefully she comes see us again soon. All right. Don't forget, every 5K, we're just going to pop a button. We're going to have to, we're redoing the wheel. Remember, we're going to put for the next TBR, we're going to put the list on there. We got to figure what to fill in the one slot, and then all the spins are going to start being the tallies. So we have to do that. So just remember, you don't have to worry about it now, but soon your tappies are going to be votes. Your tappies turn to votes. So there we go. All right. Can we see? We got Timmy ready. We got that. Is DW still here? Hang on. DW, are you still here? Hopefully she's still here. And also, listen, mini list, just so you know, I don't know when it's come. Mini list has done something with Dr. Lego's prize, as you see. It's there, right there. There, it's still right there. It's hard to see, but anyway, she's done something. We just have to do. We have to do some features, and then it'll be super cool. And then we'll see. I told you, while we're reading this, we're trying to get some upgrades and stuff to the stream. But anyway, all right, here we go. Yeah, I think DW bounced out, babe. I'm sorry. She made a video. She made a little video. She made a video. It's so cool. It's so awesome. All right. But anyway. Yeah. All right, let's get into it. Project Hail Mary. We are on chapter 3. Let's get in. Oh, Courtney found it. Good. Good. Let's get into it. Chapter 3. All right, I said, looking at the clock. We have 1 minute until the bell. You know what that means. Lightning round! Yelled my students. Life had changed surprisingly since the announcement of the Petrova line. The situation was dire and deadly, but it was also the norm. Londoners during the Blitz in World War II went about their day as normal, with the understanding that occasionally buildings get blown up. However, desperate things were, someone still had to deliver milk. And if Mrs. McCready's house got bombed in the night, well, you crossed it off your delivery list. Oh, thank you for the gifts. So it was with that, the apocalypse looming, possibly caused by an alien form, I stood in front of a bunch of kids and taught them basic science. Because what's the point of even having a world if you're not going to pass on to the next generation? The kids sat in the neat rows of the desk facing the front. Pretty standard stuff, but the rest of the room was like a mad scientist's lab. I'd spent years perfecting that look. I had a Jacob's ladder in one corner. I kept it unplugged so the kids didn't kill themselves. Along another wall was a bookshelf with full specimen jars of animal parts and formaldehyde. One of the jars was just spaghetti and a boiled egg. The kids speculated on that one a lot. And the grace in the center, and the gracing the center of the ceiling was my pride and joy. A huge mobile that was a model of the solar system. The Jupiter was the size of a basketball, while wee Mercury was as small as a marble. The Jacob's ladder is kinky. Feral! It had taken me years to cultivate a rep as the cool teacher. Kids are smarter than most people think, and they can tell when a teacher actually cares about them as opposed to when they're just going through the motions. Anyway, it was time for a lightning round. I grabbed a fistful of beanbags off my desk. What is the actual name of the North Star? Polaris, said Jeff. My name's Jeff. Correct. I threw a beanbag to him before he even caught it. I fired off the next question. What are the 3 basic kinds of rocks? Igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic, yelled Larry. He was excitable, to say the least. So close, I said. Igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic, said Abby with a sneer. Wait, did I just say? What the? Yeah, said it. Oh, he said sedentary. He said sedentary. I said the wrong word. I'm sorry. I said the right word at the wrong. He said the wrong word. All right. So he said sedentary when it's sedimentary. I see. I said it twice. All right. That's why, my bad. Correct myself. So smart. Not really. Anyway, said Abby with a sneer. Pain in the ass, that one. But smart as a whip. Yes, I threw her a beanbag. What a wave to do your first during an earth. What wave do you first feel during an earthquake? A P wave, said Abby. You again. I threw her a beanbag. What's the speed of light? 3 times 10 to... Abby began. C! Yelled Regina from the back. She rarely spoke up. Good to see her coming out of her shell. Sneaky, but correct. I chunked her a beanbag. I was answering first, Abby complained. Fuck off, Abby. You're just a little snob. But she finished her answer first, I said. What's the nearest star to the Earth? Alpha Centauri! Abby said quickly. Wrong, I said. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Anyone else? Oh, Larry said. It's the sun. Right, I said. Larry gets a beanbag. Careful with your assumptions, Abby. She folded her arms in a huff. Who can tell me the radius of her? What are we doing? Why did I get restricted? TikTok. I'm reading a book, TikTok. I'm reading words from a Kindle, TikTok. Oh, my Lord. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And y'all should hear some of the videos Liz was listening to today. Some dude, they call him, I'm not even going to talk about it. But I tell you what, all right, well, it's just us for the next 10 minutes, folks. Just us. Let's get into it. Mother flipper. Where were we? Abby. That's right, Abby. She folded her arms in a huff. Who can tell me the radius of Earth? Trang raised his hand. 3,900. Trang, Abby said. The answer is Trang. Trang froze in confusion. What? I asked. Abby preened. You asked who could tell you the radius of the Earth. Trang can tell you. I answered correctly. Outsmarted by a 13-year-old. Wasn't the first time. I dropped a beanbag on her desk just as the bell rang. The kids leapt from their chairs and collected their books with backpacks. Abby, flushed with victory, took a little more time than the others. Remember to cash in your beanbag at the end of the week for toys and other prizes, I said to their retreating packs. Soon the classroom was empty and the only echoing sounds of children in the hallway suggested any evidence of life. I collected their homework assignment from my desk and slipped them into my valise? That must be his, we call that a shoulder pack. Sixth period was over. Time to hit the teacher's lounge for a cup of coffee. Maybe I'd correct some papers before I headed home. Anything to avoid the parking lot. A fleet of helicopter moms would be descending on the school to pick up their children, and if one of them saw me, they always had some complaint or suggestion. I can't fault someone for loving their kids, and God knows we could do more with with more parents being engaged in their kids' educations. But there is a limit. Ryland Grace, said a woman's voice. I looked up with a start. I hadn't heard her come in. She looked to be in her mid-40s, wearing a well-tailored business suit. She carried a briefcase. Yeah, I said. Can I help you with something? I think you can, she said. She had this slight accent, something European. I couldn't quite put my finger on it. My name is Eva Strutt. I am with the Petrova Task Force. The what? The Petrova Task Force. It's an international body up to the deal with the Petrova line situation. I've been tasked with finding a solution. They've given me a certain amount of authority to get things done. They? Who's they? Every member nation of the UN. Wait, what? How did... Unanimous secret votes. It's complicated. I'd like to talk to you about your scientific paper you wrote. A secret vote? Never mind. I shook my head. My paper writing days are over. Academia didn't work well for me. You're a teacher. You're still in academia. Well, yeah, I said. But I mean, academia with scientists and peer reviews and assholes who get you kicked out of your university. She raised an eyebrow. And who got all your funding cut off and ensured you never get published again? Yeah, that. She pulled a binder out of her briefcase. She opened it and read the first page. An analysis of water-based assumptions and recalibrations of expectations for evolutionary models. She looked up at me. You wrote this paper, yes? I'm sorry. How did you get? A dull title, but very exciting content, I have to say. I set my valise on my desk. Look, I was in a bad place when I wrote that, okay? I had enough of the research world, and that was sort of my kiss my butt goodbye. I am much happier now as a teacher. She flipped a few pages. You spent years combating the assumptions that life requires liquid water. You have an entire section here called The Goldilocks Zone is for Idiots. You call out a dozen of your eminent scientists by name and berate them for believing a temperature range is a requirement. Yeah, but your doctorate is in molecular biology, correct? Don't most scientists agree that liquid water is necessary for life to evolve? They're wrong. I crossed my arms. There's nothing magical about hydrogen and oxygen. Well, according to TikTok, did you know you can get a bottle that will take your water from H2O to H3O? I don't know how, but it makes it a whole new thing. It's amazing. It adds extra hydrogen. It's crazy. It's wild. Anyway, digressing. Sorry, I just thought you should know that. Apparently that's possible in a bottle off of TikTok. H3O, I'm telling you, right? No, Emily, you can buy the bottle on TikTok. I've seen it. I'm just saying. Okay, sorry. They're required for Earth life, sure. But another planet could have completely different conditions. It's got electrolytes. It's got electrolytes, idiocracy. Sorry, as long as it doesn't have mayo. Okay, sorry. But another planet could have completely different conditions. All life needs is a chemical reaction that results in copies of the original catalyst, and you don't need water for that. I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and let it out. Anyway, I got mad, and I wrote that paper. Then I got a teaching credential, a new career, and started actually enjoying my life. So I'm glad no one believed me. I'm better off. I believed you, she said. Thanks, I said. But I have papers to grade. Can you tell me why you're here? Excuse me. She put the binder back in her briefcase. You are aware of the arc light probe in the Petrova line, I assume. I'd be a pretty lame science teacher if I wasn't. Do you think those dots are alive? She asked. I don't know. They could just be dust bouncing around in magnetic fields. I guess we'll find out when Arclight gets back to Earth. That's coming up, right? Just a few weeks from now? It returns on the 23rd, she said. Roscosmos will recover it from low Earth orbit with a Roscosmos will recover it from low Earth orbit with a dedicated Soyuz mission. I nodded. Then we'll know enough. The most brilliant minds in the world will look at them and find out what they're about. Who's going to do that? Do you know? You, she said. You're going to do it. What did you say? I stared blankly. She waved her hand in front of my face. Hello, you can see me, Chancina. You want me to look at dots? I said. Yes. The whole world put you in charge of solving this problem, and you came directly to a junior high science teacher. Yes. I turned and walked out of the door. You're lying, insane, or a combination of the two. I have to get going now. This is not optional, she said to my back. Seems optional to me. I waved goodbye. Yeah, it wasn't optional. When I got back to my apartment, before I even got to my front door, 4 well-dressed men surrounded me. They showed me their FBI badges and hustled me off into one of the 3 black SUVs parked in the complex parking lot. After a 20-minute drive, they refused to answer any of my questions or even speak to me at all. They parked and showed me into the generic-looking business park building. My feet barely touched the ground as they led me down the empty hallway with unmarked doors every 30 feet or so. Finally, they opened a set of double doors at the end of the hall and gently nudged me inside. Unlike the rest of the abandoned building, the room was full of furniture and shiny high-tech devices. It was the most well-stocked biology lab I'd ever seen. And right in the middle of it all was Eva Stratt. Hello, Dr. Grace, she said. This is your new lab. The FBI agents closed the doors behind me, leaving Stratt and me alone in the lab. I rubbed my shoulders where they manhandled me a little too hard. I looked at the door behind me. So, when you say a certain amount of authority, I have all the authority. You have an accent. Are you even from America? I'm Dutch. I was an administrator at ESA, but it doesn't matter. Now I'm in charge of this. There is no time for slow international committees. The sun is dying. We need a solution. That's my job to find it. She pulled up a lab stool and sat down. These dots are probably a life form. The exponential progress of solar dimming is constant with the exponential population growth of a typical life form. You think they're eating the sun? They're eating its energy output, at least, she said. Okay, that's, well, terrifying. But regardless, what the heck do you want from me? The Arclight probe is bringing the samples back to Earth. Some of them might still be alive. Do you want me to examine them and find out what I can? Yeah, you mentioned that earlier, I said. But I have to believe there are more qualified people to do this than just me. Scientists all over the world will be looking at them, but I want you to be the first. Why? It lives on or near the surface of the sun. Does that sound like water-based life form to you? Well, I mean, no. She was right. Water simply cannot exist in those temperatures. After about 3,000 degrees Celsius, the hydrogen and oxygen atoms can't stay bound to each other anymore. I wonder if they got one of those H3O devices off the TikTok shop. It would work then, because it puts that extra hydrogen in it. That's all they needed, folks. That's what they needed right there. They just needed that device. I'm telling you. The surface of the sun was 5,500 degrees Celsius. Wow. That's hot. That's hot. I wonder what that is in Fahrenheit. That's a lot of Fahrenheit. That's a lot of Fahrenheit. That's a lot of Fahrenheit. She continued, the field of speculative extraterrestrial biology is small. Only 500 or so people in the world. And everyone I've talked to, from Oxford professors to Tokyo University researchers, seem to agree that you could have led it here if you hadn't suddenly left. Gosh, I said, I didn't leave on good terms. I'm surprised they said such nice stuff about me. Everyone understands the gravity of the situation. There's no time for old grudges. But for what it's worth, you'll be able to show everyone you were right. You don't need water for life. Surely that must be something you want. Sure, I said. I mean, yeah, but not like this. Your brain hurts, Courtney. Oh no! Oh no! She hopped off her stool and headed to the door. Is it what it is? It is what it is. Be here at the 23rd at 7 p.m. I'll have the sample for you. What? I said? I'll be in Russia. It'll be in Russia, won't it? I told Roscosmos to land their Soyuz in Saskatchewan. The Royal Canadian Air Force will recover the samples and bring it directly here to San Francisco via fighter jet. The U.S. will allow the Canadians to use the airspace. Saskatchewan? Soyuz capsules are launched from Baikonur Cosmodrome, which is at the highest latitude. The safest landing locations are the same latitude. Saskatchewan is the closest large flat area to San Francisco that meets all the requirements. I held up my hand. Wait, the Russians, Canadians, and Americans all just do whatever you tell them? Yes, without question. Ha! If only. Are you joshing me with all of this? Get accommodated with your new lab, Dr. Grace. I have other things to deal with. She walked out of the door without another word. Wow. Wow. Oh, what a great... Oh, ice cream secured. Let's go, Allie. And Courtney's got some brownies. Let's go. Man, y'all got all the goody goodies tonight. Let's go. All right, here we go. Yes! I pump my fists. I jump up to my feet and climb the ladder to the lab. Once there, I climb the ladder and I grab hold of the mystery hatch. Just like last time, as soon as I touch the handle, the computer says, to unlock the hatch, state your name. Ryland Grace! I say with a smug, Dr. Ryland Grace! A small circle from the hatch is the only response. A small click from the hatch is the only response I get. After all the meditation and the introspection I did to find out my own name, I wish there'd been something more exciting. Confetti, maybe? I grab the handle and twist. It turns. My domain is about to grow by at least one new room. I push the hatch upward. Unlike the connector between the bedroom, the lab, this hatch slides to the side. The next room is pretty small, so I guess there wasn't room for a hatch to swing in. And the next room is LED lights flicker on. Excuse me. The room is round, like the other two, but it's not singular. The walls tapered inward toward the ceiling. It's a truncated cone. I spent the last few days without much information to go on. Now information assaults me from every direction. What you giggling at? Somebody might miss my what? Anybody else expecting him to say rude? That's funny. It's been a while. All right. Every surface is covered with computer monitors and touchscreens. The sheer number of blinking lights and colors is staggering. Some screens have rows of numbers, and others have diagrams, and others just look black. On the edge of the conical walls is another hatch. This one is less mysterious, though it has the word airlock stenciled across the top. The hatch itself has a round window in it. Though the window, I can see a tiny chamber, just big enough with one person with a spacesuit inside. The far wall has another hatch. Yep, that's an airlock. And in the center of everything is a chair. It's perfectly positioned to be able to reach all screens and touch panels easily. I climbed the rest of the way into the room and I settle into the chair. It's comfortable. Kind of a bucket seat. Pilot detected. The computer says, angular anomaly. Pilot, okay. Where's the anomaly, I ask. Angular anomaly. HAL 9000. This computer is not. I look around at the many screens for clues. The chair swivels easily, which is nice in this 360-degree computer pit. I spot one screen with a blinking red border. I lean in to get a better look. Angular anomaly. Relative motion error. Predicted velocity 11,423 kilometers per second. Measured velocity 11,872 kilometers per second. Status auto-correcting trajectory. No action required. Well, that means nothing to me except KPS. That might mean kilometers per second. Above the text is a picture of the sun. It's jiggling around slightly. Maybe it's a video. Like a live feed? Or is that just my imagination? On a hunch, I touch the screen with 2 fingers and drag them apart. Sure, the image zooms in. The image zooms in, just like a smartphone. There are a couple sunspots on the left side of the image. I zoom out, those until they fill the screen. The image remains amazingly clear. It's either an extremely high-resolution photo or an extremely high-resolution solar telescope. I estimated the cluster of sunspots is about 1% to the width of the disk. Pretty normal for sunspots. That means now I'm looking at half a degree of the sun's circumference. Very, very rough math here, y'all. The sun rotates about once per 25 days. Science teachers know these sort of things. So it should take an hour for the spot to move off the screen. I'll check back later to see if they have. If so, it's a live image. If not, it's a picture. 11,872 kilometers per second. Velocity is relative. It doesn't make any sense unless you're comparing 2 objects. A car on the freeway might be going 70 miles per hour compared to the ground, but compared to the car next to it, it's moving almost 0. So what is that measured velocity? Measuring the velocity of, I think I know. I'm in a spaceship, right? I have to be. So that's the value is probable of my velocity. But compared to what? Judging by the big old picture of the sun over the text, I'm guessing it's the sun. So I'm going 11,872 kilometers per second with respect to the sun. Got it. I catch a flicker up from the text below. Did something change? Angular anomaly. Relative motion error. Predicted velocity 11,000. 11,400. Fly, motherfucker. Oh, don't tell me I killed a fly on me. That would suck. 11,422 kilometers per second. Measured velocity, 11,871 kilometers per second. Status, auto-correcting. Motherfucking fly. Nope, missed him. Trajectory, no action taken. Those numbers are different. They both went down by 1. Oh, wow. Hang on. I pulled a stopwatch from my toga. Best ancient Greek philosophers always carried a stopwatch in their togas. Then I stared at the screen with what seems like an eternity. Just before I'm about to give up, the numbers both drop by 1 again. I started the timer. This time, I'm ready for how long the wait will be. Again, it seemed interminable. But I stand firm. Finally, the numbers both drop again, and I stop the timer. 66 seconds, measured velocity. It's going down by 1 every 66 seconds. Some quith mag, go in here, carry the 1, minus the 4, carry the 6, minus the 2. That tells me the acceleration of 15 meters per second. That's the same gravity acceleration I worked out earlier. The force I'm feeling isn't gravity. And if it's not a centrifuge, I'm in a spaceship that's constantly accelerating in a line. Well, actually, it's decelerating. The values are going down. And that velocity, that's a lot of velocity. Yeah, it's going down. But wow. To reach Earth's orbit, you only need to go down to 8 kilometers per second. I'm going over 11,000. That's faster than anything in the solar system. Anything that fast would escape the sun's gravity and go flying out into interstellar space. The readout doesn't have anything to indicate what direction I'm going, just as a relative velocity. So now my question is, am I barreling towards the sun or away from it? It's almost academic. I'm either on a collision course with the sun or on my way out to deep space with no hope of returning. Or I might be heading in the sun's general direction, but it's not on a collision course. If that's the case, I'll miss the sun and then I'll fly into a deep space with no hope returning. Well, if the image of the sun is real time, then the sunspot will get larger or smaller on the screen as I travel. So I just have to wait until I know if it's real time. That'll take about an hour. I start the stopwatch. I acquaint myself with the million other screens in the little room. Most of them I have something to say. But one of them just shows an image of a circular crest. I think it's probably an idle screen or something. If I touch it, that computer will wake up. But that idle screen might be the most informative thing here. It's a mission crest. I've seen enough NASA documents to know one thing when I see it. The circular crest has an outer ring with blue and white text. The text reads, Hail Mary across the top and Earth across the bottom. The name, port of call for the vessel. I didn't think the ship came from somewhere other than Earth. But okay. Anyway, I guess I finally know the name of the ship I'm on. I'm aboard the Hail Mary. Not sure what to do with that information. That's not all the crest has to tell me. Inside the blue band, there's a black circle with weird symbols inside. A yellow circle with a dot in the middle, a blue circle with a white cross, and a small yellow circle with a lowercase t in it. No idea what any of that is supposed to mean. Around the edge of the black area says, that has some sort of, I'm going to say, Asian writing, characteristics, caricatures, what are they called? Characters, letters. And then I'm going to go with Russian letters because it's like the backwards letter, backwards. And I'm a backwards man, the backwards man. I can go back as fast as you can. And Grace. The crew. I'm Grace. So the others twos must be the names of the mummies in the bunks downstairs. A Chinese person and a Russian person. The memory of them is almost at the surface, but I can't quite pull it up. I think some eternal defense mechanism is suppressing it. The backwards man? You don't know where that's from, Jessica? The backwards man. I can walk backwards fast as you can. I'm the backwards man. I'm the backward, you know? It's also from a movie that goes, Timmy, would you like some sausage? Timmy, would you like some sausages? You don't know that either? Allie knows it. Tom Green. Freddy Got Fingered. It's the name of the movie. I have fingers and my name is Freddy. What are you talking about? Freddy's got fingers. Guys, not got, but you know, Freddy's got fingers. It's the name of the movie. It's a movie. It's a movie. Anyway, back to the story. Woo! Okay, sorry. Where were we? It's a defense mechanism suppressing it. When I remember them, it's going to hurt, so my brain refuses to remember them. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm a science teacher, not a trauma psychologist. Well, I don't think DW. Maybe DW would know that. Emily, what are your thoughts on that? No, I'm just playing. I wipe my eyes clear. Maybe I won't push too hard for that memory just yet. I have an hour to kill. I let my mind wander to see what else I can remember. It's getting easier and easier. That's what she said. I'm not 100% comfortable with all this, I said. My voice was muffled by a full hazmat suit I wore. My breath fogged up to the clear vinyl face window thingy. You'll be fine, she said, Strat's voice over the intercom. She watched from the other side of the double panel, very thick glass. They made a few upgrades to the lab. Oh, the equipment was all the same, but now the entire room was air sealed. Exactly, we couldn't say much about that movie. The walls were lined with thick plastic sheets all held together with some kind of special tape. I saw the CDC logo everywhere, quarantine protocols, not at all comforting. The only entry now was through a big, thick plastic airlock, and they made me put on a hazmat suit before going in. An airline led to my suit from a spool in the ceiling. All top-of-the-line equipment was ready for whatever I wanted to do. I'd never seen a lab so well stocked, and all in the middle of a wheel cart holding a cylindrical container. Stenciled writing on the cylinder read, Russian words. Not deeply useful. Strat wasn't alone in the observation room. About 20 people in military uniform stood with her, all looking with interest. Excuse me. There were definitely some Americans, some Russians, a few Chinese officers, plus many more unique uniforms I didn't even recognize. A large international group. None of them said a word, and by some silent agreement, they all stayed a few feet behind Strat. I grabbed the air hose with my gloved hand and gestured to Strat with it. Is this really necessary? She pressed the little intercom button. There is a very good chance that the sample in the cylinder is an alien life form. We are taking no chances. Wait, you're not taking any chances, but I am. It's not like that. How is it not like that? She paused. Okay, it's exactly like that. I love the banter of her and him. I'm not gonna lie. I know I have because I've seen the movie, but I love them too. They're just, I like the way they are. Sorry. Okay. I walked from the cylinder. Does everyone else have to go through all this? She looked at the military people and they all shrugged at her. What do you mean by everyone else? You know, I said, the people who transferred it to you to this container. That's the sample container from the capsule. It's 3 centimeters of lead surrounding a shield, a centimeter thick steel. It's been sealed since it left Venus. It has 14 latches and you'll need to get the sample itself. I looked at the cylinder, back to her, back to the cylinder, and back to her. This is some bullpucky. I'm going to try to remember his words. Bullpucky. Maybe we can incorporate
Mother fluffer.
mother fluffer. We're going to try to remember all of his words and just try to put them into my vocabulary. I'm going to try to become like Ryland Grace. It's not happening, y'all. Try it. It's not going to happen. I'm going to try.
You try to be more like Gosling?
Yeah, right. With $1 billion,
Don't worry,
I couldn't
babe.
do that.
You are enough.
Look at the bright side, she said. You'll be forever known as the man who made first contact with extraterrestrial life. If it is even life, I mumbled. I got the 14 latches open with some effort. I'm sorry, what? Doctor. Never. Those, not unless it's an honorary doctor. I could be a doctor like Dr. Dre. That's about it. I got a doctorate BS. That's about it. Anyway. Those things were tight. I vaguely wondered about how the arc light probe closed them in the first place. Must have been some kind of cool actuated system. Ryland. I like that. That's a good. That's a good. I like that one. We'll have to. Okay. The inside wasn't impressive. I didn't expect it to be. Just a small, clear plastic. Freaking fly! Why? Why do you forsake me? This is why we don't get much red tonight. Just a small, clear plastic ball that appeared to be empty. The mysterious dots were microscopic, and there weren't very many of them. No radiation detected, Strat said through the intercom. I shot a glance over at her. She watched her tablet intensely. I took a good look at the balls. Is this under vacuum? No, she said. It's full of argon gas at 1 atmosphere of pressure. The dots had been moving around the whole time. The probe was returning from Venus, so it looks like the argon doesn't affect them. I looked all around the lab. There's no glove box here. I can't just expose unknown samples to normal air. The entire room is full of argon, she said. Make sure you don't kick your airline or you'll rip your suit. If you breathe argon, I'll suffocate and I won't even know it's happening. Yeah, okay. I took the ball to the tray, carefully twisted it until it came apart in 2 halves. I placed 1 half in a sealed plastic container and mopped the other half with a dry cotton swab. I scraped the swab against the slide and took it to the microscope. I thought they'd be harder to find, but there they were, dozens of little black dots, and they were indeed wiggling around. You're recording all this? From 36 different angles, she said. Never twist the balls. Twist his dick! Sorry. Samples consist of many round objects, I said. Almost no variance in size. Each appear to be approximately 10 microns in diameter. I adjust the focus and tried various intensities of backlighting. Samples are opaque. I can't see inside, even at the highest available light setting. Are they alive? Strat asked. I glared at her. I can't just tell you at a glance. What do you expect to happen here? I want you to find out if they're alive, and if so, find out how they work. That's a tall order. Why? Biologists worked out how bacteria works. Just do the same thing they did. That took thousands of scientists 2 centuries to work out. Well, do it faster than that. Tell you what, I pointed back to the microscope. I'm going to get back to work now. I'll tell you anything I work out when I work it out. Until then, you can all enjoy some quiet study time. Princess Dark Eye 6-pack. That's funny. I spent the next 6 hours doing incremental tests over what time the military people wandered out, eventually leaving Stroud by herself. I had to admire her patience. She sat in the back of the observation room and worked on her tablet, sometimes looking up to see what I was doing. She perked up as I cycled my way through the airlock and into the observation room. Got something, she asked. I unzipped the suit and stepped out. Yeah, a full bladder, she typed on her tablet. I hadn't accounted for that. I'll get a bathroom installed inside the quarantine area tonight. Jesus Christ, it's so fast. If only the government could always work that fast, you know what I'm saying? It'll have to be a chemical toilet. We can't have plumbing going in and out. Fine, whatever, I said. I hustled off to the facilities to do my business. What's up, Mr. Raz? Speak of the devil. Hey, Mr. Raz, what do you do for work? Fine, whatever, I said. I hustled off to the facilities to do my business. When I returned, Strat had pulled a small table and 2 chairs in the center of the observation room. She sat in one of the chairs and gestured to the other. Have a seat. I'm in the middle of... Have a seat. I took a seat. She had a commanding presence, that's for sure. Something about her tone and her voice of general confidence level, maybe. One way or another, when she spoke, you just kind of assumed you should do what she said. What have you found so far? She asked. It's only been one afternoon, I said. I didn't ask how long it's been. I asked what you found so far. I scratched my head. After an hour in that suit, I was sweaty and presumably smelled bad. It's weird. I don't know what those dots are made of, and I'd really like to know. Is there some equipment you need that you don't have? She asked. No. There's everything a guy could hope for in there. It just doesn't work on these dots. I settled back to the chair. I'd been on my feet most of the day, and it was nice to relax for a moment. First thing I tried was X-rays, spectrometer. It sent X-rays into a sample, making it emit photons, and you can tell from the wavelengths of the photons what elements are present. And what did it tell you? Nothing. As far as I can tell, these dots just absorbs X-rays. The X-rays will go in, and they never come out. Nothing ever comes out. That's very odd. I can't think of anything that does that. Okay. She took some notes on her tablet. What else can you tell me? Next, I tried GAF chromatography. That's where you vaporize the sample and identify the elements of the compounds in the resulting gas. That didn't work either. Why not? I'm Batman. That is what we said. We told you, Mr. Raz is Batman. You heard it here. Mr. Raz is Batman. Approved. I threw my hands up because the darn things just won't vaporize. That led me down a rabbit hole of burners, ovens, crucible, furnaces. That turned up to be nothing. The dots are unaffected at the temperatures up to 2,000 degrees Celsius. Okay, I'm sorry, but if they can only do 2,000, they got them from 5,000 degrees Celsius. Of course they're going to last 2,000. Like, come on, I'm not smart, and I know that. And that's odd? It's crazy odd, I said. But these things live on the sun, at least some of the time. So I guess having a high resistance makes heat sense. They live on the sun. So they are a life form. I'm pretty sure they are. Yeah. Elaborate? Well, they move around. It's plainly visible through the microscope. That alone doesn't prove they're alive. Inert stuff moves all the time from static charges or magnetic fields or whatever. But there's something else I noticed. Something weird. It made the pieces fall into place. Okay. Ooh, a blizzard. Blizzard sounds good. I put a few dots under the vacuum and I ran a spectrograph, just a sample test to see if they emit light. And they do. Of course. They give off infrared light at the 25.84 micron wavelength. That's a Petrova frequency. The light that makes the Petrova line. I expected that. But then I noticed they only emit light when they're moving. He said it did, but no. I'm sorry. But boy, they did emit a lot. I mean, a lot from our point of view. But for a tiny single-celled organism, it's a ton. And how is that relevant? I did some back-of-the-napkin math, and I'm pretty sure that light is how they move about. Strat raises an eyebrow. I don't follow. Believe it or not, light has momentum, I said. It exerts a force, and if you are out in space and you turn on a flashlight, you'll get a teeny tiny amount of thrust from it. I didn't know that. And now you do. And a teeny tiny thrust from a teeny tiny mass can be an effective form of propulsion. I measured the dot's average mass at about 20 picograms. That took a long time, by the way. but that lab equipment is awesome. Anyway, the movement I see is constant with the movement of the emitted light. She set her tablet down. I had apparently accomplished the rare feat of getting her undivided attention. Is that something that happens in nature? I shook my head. No way. Nothing in nature has that kind of energy storage. You don't understand how much energy these dots are emitting. It's like getting to the scale of mass conversion. E equals mc squared kind of stuff. These tiny dots have more energy stored up in them than have more energy stored up in them than remotely makes sense. Well, she said, they did just come from the sun, and the sun is losing energy. Science is hot. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. I saw that. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I think it's a life form. I said it consumes energy, stores it in some way we don't understand, then uses it for propulsion. It's not a simple physical or chemical process. It's a complex and direct, something that must have evolved. So the Petrova line is tiny little rocket flares? Probably. And I bet we're only seeing a small percentage of the total light coming off that area. They'll use it as to propel themselves to Venus or to the sun, or both. I don't know. Point is, the light will go away from their direction of travel. Earth isn't in the line, so they will only see the light that reflects off nearby space dust. Why do they go to Venus, he asked, and how do they reproduce? Good questions, ones I don't have the answers for. But if they're single-celled stimulus response organism, they probably reproduce through mitosis. I paused. That's when the cell splits into half and becomes two new cells. Yes, I know that much. Thank you. She looked at the ceiling. People always assume our first contact with alien life, if any, exist, would be little green UFOs. We never considered the idea of simple, unintelligent species. Yeah, I said. This isn't Vulcan dropping by to say hi. This is space algae. An invasive species like cane toads in Australia. Good analogy, I nodded. And the population is growing fast. The more of them there are, the more solar energy gets consumed. She pinched her chin. What would you call an organism that exists on a diet of stars? I struggled to remember my Greek or Latin words. I think you call it astrophage. Astrophage, she said. She typed it into her tablet. Okay, get back to work. Find out how they breed. Astrophage. The word alone makes all my muscles clench up. A chilling terror hits the lead line. Hits like a lead weight. That's the name. The thing that threatens all life on Earth. Astrophage. I glanced at the monitor with my zoomed-in image of the sun. The sunspots have moved noticeably. Okay, it's real-time image. Good to know. Wait! I don't think they're moving at the right speed. I checked the stopwatch. I was only daydreaming for 10 minutes or so. The sunspots should have moved a fraction of a degree, but they're halfway off the screen. Way more than they should have moved. I pull a measuring tape from my toga. I zoom out the image and actually measure the widths of the sun and the sunspot clusters on the screen. No more rough estimates. I want real math here. The solar disk is 27 centimeters on screen, and the sunspots are 3 millimeters. They moved half their width, 1.15 millimeters, in 10 minutes. Actually, it was 517 seconds, according to my stopwatch. I scribbled some math on my arm. At this resolution, they're moving 1 millimeter every 344.66 seconds. To cross the entire 27 centimeters, it would take scribble, 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 carry the 1, minus the 3, x over the 4, just over 93,000 seconds. So it'll take that long for the cluster to cross the near side of the sun. It'll take twice that long to get all the way around. So 186,000 seconds. 186,000 seconds. That's a little over 2 days. Over 10 times faster than the rotation should be. This star I'm looking at, it's not the sun. I'm in a different solar system. Wow. Woo! All right. Rent meets science. Love this stuff. All right. She says, Allie wants to go to church. Allie, so you're going to church instead of being lawn furniture? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Before she's talking about being lawn furniture, now she's trying to go to church. Maybe she's changed. Has she changed herself? Has she changed? These chapters are ridiculous. Yeah, they're long ones. There's some long ones. There's some beefy ones. I'm going to pop one more out. Now do Cell Block Tango. That's the Ipsilis Cicero. That one? I don't remember all the words, but I think that one. He had it coming. He had it coming. He had it coming all the same. Yeah, I know. I don't know all the words of that one, but I have seen Chicago. I've seen Chicago many, many times. And I've seen the movie and I've seen the play. Hey, but the high school production of the play. But anyway. Yeah, I got folded a launcher like it. Read the comment. Allie Grace. Yeah, I get folded like a launcher. Oh, sorry, flashbacks. Anyway. That's not being bad, Rick. Okay. You know those. All right. I know chapter 4 is another long one, but that's going to take us to 10:30. That should take us to about 10:30, probably a little bit before. So we'll stop at there for the night. So we're going to finish chapter 4. Hopefully everybody's still here with us tonight. Where He's been so quiet tonight. As soon as we started reading, she got quiet. I haven't seen much of her yapping. She's not been talking. We lost DW. Pixie. Oh, Pixie showed up. Welcome, Pixie. I thought you popped in and out. I think Pixie's been popping in and out, right? I haven't been able to keep up with chat. I know I've been reading a long chapter, so I want to thank everybody for being here with us tonight. Y'all ready for some more? Let's do it. Chapter 4, Project Hail Mary. Okay. I think it's time I looked at long gosh darn look at those screens. She's like, I'm sticking this out. I will not subject myself to FOMO. Oh, of course. You can. You're cute, sweetie. I love it. It's great. All right. I think it's time I take a long gosh darn look at those screens. No worries, Pixie. How am I in another solar system? That doesn't even make sense. What star is that anyway? Oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm hyperventilating for a while. I hyperventilate for a while. I remember what I tell my students. If you're upset, take a deep breath, let it out, count to 10. It dramatically reduces the number of tantrums in my classroom. Okay, remember that, okay, baby? Remember that. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. What
Sorry,
the
Daniel
heck
Tiger.
is bothering me?
Like Daniel Tiger.
I take a breath. 1, 2, 3. This isn't working. I'm going to die.
See?
I hold my head in my hands. Oh God, where the heck am I? I scour the monitors for anything I can make sense of. Anything. There's no lack of information. There's too much. Each screen has handy labeled on the top life support, airlock statuses, engines, robotics, astrophage, generators, centrifuge. Wait, what? Astrophage. That's amazing.
That's so cute.
Is that Pam? Angela.
I'm making.
You want? Can I show everybody? Sorry, I want to show everybody. So, you know the little, what are they called? The perler beads. Perler beads. She made Angela.
Later you'll have to bring it up. She has like Dwight, Pam, and Jim.
You already have Dwight and Michael done?
Yeah,
I made those.
Oh, that's right. I remember them. Well, I'll tell you what. When you bring them out, we'll have to see. You have to bring them out so I can show. Those are so cool. Great job, baby girl. Great job. All right. Astrophage. I checked the astrophage panel closely. Remaining 20,906 kilograms. Consumption rate 6.045 kilograms a second. Excuse me. Far more interesting than the numbers in the diagram below them. It shows what I assume is the Hail Mary, my first real overview of what this ship looks like. That was the mini list. Yes, yes. The top of the ship is singular. Why can I not all of a sudden speak? The top of the ship is a cylinder with a nose cone at the front. That's a rocket ship if I ever saw one. Judging by the tapered, conical walls of the control room, this must be the very front of the ship. Beneath me is a lab. On the diagram, that room is labeled lab. Below that one, the room where I woke up, the one with my dear friends. I sniffle and wipe away a tear. No time for that right now. I put it in my head and keep looking at the diagram. That room is named dormitory. Okay. So with this whole diagram lines up with my experience, and it's nice to know the official names of things. Underneath the dormitory is a much shorter room, maybe about 1 meter high, named storage. Ah, that must be the panel on the floor that was missing. I'll make a mental note to check that out later. But there's more, a lot more. Under the storage area, there's an area labeled cable fairing. No idea what that is or why it exists. Beneath that, the ship fans out, and it appears to be 3 cylinders the same width as my little area. They're all side by side. My guess is that they assembled the ship in space, and the largest diameter they could launch was about 4 meters. Middles? Needles? What the fuck is a needle?
Actually.
Good night. Good night, Allie. Have a good night. Needles. It's a needle. The trio of cylinders, I'd estimate they're 75% of the total ship's volume, are labeled a fuel. The fuel area is broken up into 9 sub-cylinders. I tap one of them out of curiosity, and it brings up a screen for that one fuel bay that says astrophage, 0 kg. It's also a button labeled jettison. Well, I'm not sure why I'm here or what these things are doing, but I definitely don't want to be hit with the button labeled jettison. It's probably not as dramatic as it seems, but these are fuel tanks, and if the fuel has been spent, the ship can ditch the tank to reduce its mass and make the remaining fuel last longer. That's the same reasons rockets lifting off Earth have multiple stages. Interesting that the ship did not automatically eject them as they became empty. I dismissed the window and returned to the main ship map. Under each of those large fuel zones is a trapezoidal area labeled spin drive. I've never heard that term before. But since it's in the back of the ship, it has the word drive in its name. I assume it's the propulsion system. Excuse me. Spin drive, spin drive. I close my eyes and try to think about it. Nothing happens. I can't call up memories at will. I'm not quite there yet. I peer at the diagram more closely. Why is there 200? Why is there 20,000 kilograms of astrophase on this ship? I've got a strong suspicion it's the fuel. And why not? Astrophage can propel itself with light and an absurd energy storage capabilities. It has God knows how many billions years of evolution to get it good, years of evolution to get good at it. Just like a horse of more energy efficient than a truck. Astrophage is more energy efficient than a spaceship. Okay, that explains why there's a buttload of astrophage on this ship. It's fuel. Why put a diagram of the ship on the screen? That's like putting a blueprint of a car on its gas gauge. Interestingly, the diagram doesn't really care about the rooms. It doesn't even show what's inside them. Just label for each one, and that's it. However, the diagram is very focused on the hull in the rear part of the ship. I see red pipes leading from the fuel areas to spin drives, probably how fuel gets to the engines. But I also see the pipes along the hull of the ship, and they cut across the cable fairing area. So the astrophage fuel is mostly in the fuel tank and kept in shell around the hull. Why do that? Oh, there are temperature readings all over the place. I guess temperature is important because these readings are every meter along the hull, and every single one of them reads 96.415 Celsius. Hey, I know that temperature. I know that exact temperature. Why do I know it? What do I know it from? Come on, brain. Come on. 96.415 Celsius, read the display. Huh? I said. What is that? Strat said immediately. It was my second day in the lab. Strat insisted I be the only person to look at the astrophage, at least for the time being. She dropped her tablet on the table and came to the observation room window. Something new, kind of. Ambient temperatures of the astrophage is 96.415 degrees Celsius. That's pretty hot, isn't it? Almost, yeah. The boiling pot of water, I said. For anything living on Earth, it would be deadly. But for a thing that's comfortable near the sun, who knows? So what's significant about it? I can't get hotter and colder. I point to the experiment I set up on the fume hood. I put some astrophage on ice cold water for an hour. When I pull them... Oh no! The tiki-talkie says it dropped. What is happening? Hang on. Could not. Oh no. All right. Looks like we're coming back slowly. All right. I agree, Court. Do you see the screen flashing or is it just me? You're not paying attention. All right. I do. All right. I like how it is passed. But similar timelines. I agree. Yeah, we're buffering. We're buffering. We're buffering. We're buffering. Buffering. We're buffering. You see where it says frame rates drop? Mm-hmm. Well, that was me. Oh, yeah, that decline. It did click. All right. Oh, here we go. Looks like we're coming back. Looks like we're coming back. Back to Cali. Oh, did it again. See? I don't know what it is. Anyway. All right. Are we back now? Looks like my statuses say we are back. Looks like... Oh, Batman's here. Batman's here. Act right, y'all. Act right, y'all. Batman's back. All right, here we go. I think we are back. Batman, see, Batman returned and everything fixed itself. Batman came back and it's all better. Batman is back and it's all better. Okay, here we go. I can't get hotter or colder. I pointed to the experiment. Excuse me. I set up the fume hood. I put some of the astrophage in water. When I pulled them out, they were 96.415 degrees Celsius. Then I put them in a lab furnace at 1,000 degrees. Again, after I pulled them out, 96.14. Am I still buffering? Am I still buffering? My side says we're good. Have we fixed? Not anymore. Okay. Good to go. Good to go. Okay. Maybe they have extremely good insulation. I thought of that, so I did another experiment. I took an extremely small droplet of water and put a few astrophage in it. After a few hours, the whole droplet was 96.415 degrees. The astrophage heated up the water, so that means heat energy can move out of it. What conclusion can you draw? She asked. All right, we are back. Good. I tried to scratch my head, but the vinyl suit got in the way. Well, we know they have a huge amount of energy stored inside. I'm guessing they use it to maintain body temperature, the same way you and I do. A warm-blooded microorganism, she said. I shrugged. Looks that way. Hey, how much longer am I going to be the only person working on this? Until you stop discovering new stuff. Oh, one guy alone in a lab. That's not how science works, I said. There should be hundreds of people all over the world working on this. You're not alone in that thought, she said. I've had 3 different heads of state call me today. Then let other scientists in on it. No, why not? She looked away for a moment, then back through the window at me. Astrophage is an alien microbe. What if it can infect humans? What if it's deadly? What if the hazmat suit and neoprene gloves aren't enough protection? Wait a minute. Am I a guinea pig? No, it's not like that, she said. I stared at her. She stared at me. I stared at her. Okay, it's exactly like that, she said. Dang it! It's just not cool. Don't be dramatic, she said. I'm just playing it safe. Imagine what would happen if I sent Astrophage to the most brilliant minds on the planet and they killed them all. In an instant, we'd lose the very people we need the most right now. I can't risk it. I scrolled. This isn't some cheesy movie, Strat. Pathogens evolve slowly over time to attack specific hosts. Astrophage has never even been on Earth before. There's just no way it can affect humans. Besides, it's been a couple of days and I'm not dead. So send it out to real scientists. You are a real scientist and you're making progress as fast as anyone else would. There's no point in me risking other lives while you're getting it done on your own. Are you kidding me? I said. With a couple hundred minds at work on this, we'd make a lot more progress on. Also, most deadly diseases have a minimum of at least 3 days of incubation time. Ah, there it is. She walked back to her table and picked up her tablet. The rest of the world will have their turn in time. But for now, it's just you. At least tell me what the hell those things are made of. Then we can talk about giving it to other scientists. She resumed reading the tablet. The conversation was over, and she ended it by laying down with my students and would call a sick burn. Despite my best efforts, I still had no idea what the heck astrophage was made of. Excuse me. They were opaque to every wavelength of light I threw at them. Visible infrared, ultraviolet rays, microwaves. I even put a few astrophage and radiation contamination vessel and exposed it to gamma rays emitted by cesium-137. This lab has everything. I called it the Bruce Banner test. Felt good about that name. Anyway, even gamma couldn't penetrate the little bastards, which is like shooting a .50 caliber round at a sheet of paper and having it bounce off. It just doesn't make any sense. I sulked back at the microscope. The little dots hung on the slide where they should have been, where they'd been for hours. This was my control set. The ones haven't been battered with various light sources. Maybe I'm overthinking this, I muttered. I poke around the lab supplies until I find what I need. Nano syringes. They were rare and expensive, but the lab had them. Basically, they were teeny tiny needles, small enough and sharp enough to be used for poking microorganisms. You could pull a mitochondria out of a living cell with one of those babies. Back to the microscope. Okay, you little reprobates. You're radiation proof, I'll grant you that. But how about I stab you in the face? It's a microorganism, ticky-tacky. It's not bullying. Normally, a nano syringe would be controlled by a finely tuned equipment, but I just wanted some stabby time and didn't care about the tool's integrity. I grabbed the collet where it would normally mount to the control machinery and brought the needle into view with the microscope. They're called nano syringes, but they were actually about 50 nanometers wide. Still, the needle was tiny compared to the hulking 10 microgram astrophage, about what, 2,000th that width? I poked the astrophage with the needle of what happened next was nothing I could have expected. Microorganism lives matter. That's funny. First off, the needle penetrated. No doubt on that front. For all its resistance to light and heat, apparently astrophage was no better at dealing with sharp things than another cell. The instant I poked a hole in it, the whole cell became translucent, no longer a featureless black dot, but a cell with organelles and everything else like microbiologists like me want to see. Just like that, it was flicking a switch, and then it died. The ruptured cell wall simply gave up the ghost and completely unraveled. The astrophage went from being a cohesive, roundish object to a slow, widening puddle, no outer boundaries. I grabbed a normal needle of the shear by a shelf and sucked up the goof. Yes, I said, I killed one. Good for you, Strat said without looking up from her tablet. First human to kill an alien, just like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator. Okay, I know you're trying to be funny, but that Predator died by deliberate setting off a bomb. The first human to actually kill a predator was... Michael Harrigan, played by Danny Glover in Predator 2. Little movie trivia right there. Staring at me through the window for a moment, then he shook a head and rolled his eyes. Point is, I can finally find out what astrophage is made of. Really? She set her tablet down. Killing it? Did the trick? I think so. It's not black anymore. The light is getting through. Whatever weird effect was blocking it isn't anymore. How did you do it? What killed it? I penetrated the outer cell membrane with the nano syringe. You poked it with the stick. No, I said. Well, yes. But it was a scientific poke with a very scientific stick. It took you 2 days to think of poking it with a stick. You be quiet. He said you needed smarter people. I'm just saying. I took the needle and the spectroscope and I injected the astrophage goop onto the platform. Then I sealed the chamber and fired up the analysts. I bounced from one foot to the other like a little kid while I waited for the results. Strat craned her neck to watch me. So what's this you're doing now? It's the atomic emission spectroscope, I said. I told you about it earlier. It sends X-rays into a small sample to excite the atoms, then watches the wavelengths that come back. Didn't work at all when I tried it with the live astrophage, but now that the magic light-stopping properties are gone, things should work like normal. Beep, beep. The machine. All right, here we go. Time to find out what chemicals are in life form that doesn't use water. I read the LED screen. It showed the peak and the elements they represented. I stared at the screen silently. Well, Strat said. Well, there's carbon and nitrogen, but the vast and the majority of the sample is hydrogen and oxygen. I signed and plopped down in the chair to the machine. The ratio of hydrogen and oxygen is 2 to 1. What's wrong? She asked. What does that mean? It's water. Astrophage is mostly water. Her mouth fell open. How? How can something that exists on the surface of the sun have water? I shrugged. Probably because it maintains an internal temperature of 96.415 degrees Celsius no matter what's going on outside. What does that all mean? She asked. I put my hands on my head. It means every scientific paper I ever wrote is wrong. Well, that's a kick in the pants. But I wasn't happy in that lab anyway. And they must have brought in smarter people than me because here I am at another star in a ship powered by astrophage. So why am I the one here? All I did was prove that my lifelong belief was wrong. I guess I'll remember that part later. For now, I want to know what star that is. And why we were built a ship to bring people here. All important things to be sure. But right now, there's a whole area of that ship that I haven't explored yet. Storage. Maybe I can find something other than a makeshift toga to wear. I climbed down the ladder to the lab and then further downward in the dormitory. My friends are still there, still dead. I try not to look at them. I scan the floor for any hint of access panel. Nothing. So I go down on my hands and knees. Crawl around. Sorry. Finally, I spotted a very thin seam marking a square directly under my male crewmate's bunk. I can't even wedge my fingernail in to see the seam is so thin. There were there were all manner of tools in the lab. I'm sure there's a flathead screwdriver I could use to pry this open. Or, hey computer, open this access panel. Specify aperture to open. I point to the panel. This thing. Open it. Specify aperture to open. Open aperture to supply room. Unsealing supply room, says the computer. There's a click, and the panel raises a couple inches. A rubber gasket around the seam gets torn apart in the process. I couldn't see when the panel was closed. Things were that tight, I'm glad I didn't try to pry it open. That would have been a pain in the butt. I pull the remnants of the seal of the panel, and the panel becomes loose in the opening. I jiggle it for a bit before figuring out I have to rotate it. Once I rotate it 90 degrees, it detaches, and I set it aside. I poke my head into the room and see a bunch of soft-sided white cubes. I guess that makes sense, packing stuff in soft containers. Let you cram more things into the room. It's just a diagram in the control room, I said. The storage area is about 1 meter high and completely full of those soft containers. I would have to remove a bunch just to get in there, if I wanted to get in there. I guess I'll have to eventually. It looks a bit claustrophobic, to be honest. Like the crawl space under the house. I grab the nearest package and I pull it up through the opening. The package is held together by Velcro strips. I pull them apart from the container unfolds of Chinese takeout box. Inside are a bunch of uniforms. Jackpot! Though not really a coincidence. Whoever packed this probably did with careful planning, and they knew the crew would want uniforms as soon as they woke up. So they're in the first bag. There are at least a dozen uniforms in the package. They're each vacuum-sealed plastic bags. I open one at random. It's a light blue one-piece jumpsuit. Astronaut clothes. The fabric is thin but feels comfortable. On the left shoulder is Hail Mary mission patch, same design I saw in the control room. Beneath is a Chinese flag. The right shoulder has a white patch with the blue chevron triangle surrounded by a wreath design, the letters CNSA. I recognize them immediately. Nerd that I am. It's the Chinese National Space Agency logo. There's a name tag over the left breast pocket that reads Yao. The same character I saw on a Hail Mary mission crest. It's pronounced Yao. How do I know? Of course I know Commander Yao. He was our leader. I can see his face now. Young, striking eyes, full of determination. He understood the severity of the mission and the weight of our shoulders and the weight on his shoulders. He was ready for the task. He was stern but reasonable, and you just know, he would give you his life in a second for the mission or his crew. I pull out another uniform much smaller than the commander's. The mission patch is the same, but there's a Russian flag beneath it, and the right shoulder has a tilted red chevron surrounded by a ring. It's the symbol of the Roscosmos, the Russian space agency. The name patch reads, yeah, I'm not butchering them. Another name from the crest is Ilkiana's uniform. Osilia Ilyukiana. She was hilarious. She could have you laughing with your butt off within 30 seconds of meeting you. She just had one of those infectious and jovial personalities. The seriousness of Yao was Ilyanka's was casual. They butted heads about it from time to time, but even Yao couldn't resist her charm. I remember when he finally broke down and laughed at one of her jokes. You can't be 100% serious forever. I stand up and look at the bodies. No longer the stern commander, no longer the chillful friend. Just two husks that had once held souls, but barely now looked human. They deserved more than this. They deserved a burial. The container holds multiple outfits for each crew member. Eventually, I find the ones for me. Excuse me. They were exactly as I assumed they would be. Hail Mary mission patch with the U.S. flag underneath. the NASA logo on the right shoulder, and the name tag that says Grace. I put on my jumpsuit. After more digging in the storage area, I find footwear. They're not shoes, really, just thick socks with rubber soles. Booties and some grips. We all got them booties and some grips, y'all. Booties and some grips. I'm just saying. I guess that's all we need for a mission. I put them on as well. Then I go in grim task of dressing my departed comrades. The jumpsuit doesn't remotely look the right size on the thin, desiccant bodies. I even put the booties on. Why not? This is our uniform. A traveler deserves to be buried in uniform. I start with Ilkiana. She weighs almost nothing. I carry her over my shoulder as I climb the ladders all the way to the control room. Once there, I set her on the floor and open the airlock. The spacesuit inside is bulky and in the way. I move it, piece by piece, into the control room and set it on the pilot's chair. Then I put in Alyssa into the airlock. The airlock controls are self-explanatory. The air pressure inside the airlock and even the outer door are controllable by the panel in the control room. There's even a jettison button. I close the doors and activate the jettison button. It starts with a buzzing alarm, blinking lights inside the airlock, and a verbal countdown. There are 3 different blinking abort switches inside the airlock. Anyone who finds themselves in there during a jettison can easily cancel it. Once the countdown finishes, the airlock decompresses to 10% of the atmosphere, according to the readouts. Then it releases the outer door. With a whoosh, Odessa is gone. And with a constantly accelerating ship, the body simply falls away. Oyesa Ilyonkana, I say. I don't remember her religion, or even if she had one. I don't know what she would have wanted to say, but at least I will remember her name. I commend your body to the stars. It seemed appropriate. Maybe corny, but it makes me feel better. Next, I carry Commander Yao to the airlock. I set him inside, I seal it, and jettison his remains. In the same way, Yao Li Ji, I say, I don't know him. I remember his given name. It just came to me in a moment. I condemn your body to the stars. The airlock cycles, and I am alone. I was alone all along, but now I am truly alone. A sole living human within several light years at least. What do I do now? Welcome back, Mr. Grace, said Teresa. The kids all sat at their desk primed for science class. Thanks, Teresa, I said. Michael piped in. The substitute teacher was boring. Well, I'm not, I said. I picked up 4 plastic bins from the corner. Today, we're going to look at rocks. Okay. Maybe that is a little boring, chuckled the kids. You're going to divide into 4 teams. Each team will get a bin. You have to separate the rocks into igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic rocks. First team to finish and get every rock correct categorizes gets a beanbag. Can we pick our own teams? Trang asked excitedly. No, that just leads to a bunch of drama because children are animals. Horrible, horrible animals. It's a book, TikTok. I'm reading a book. It doesn't mean it. I don't mean it. I don't mean it. It's a book. Freaking. Everyone laughed. Teams will be alphabetical. So the first team is... Abby raised her hand. Mr. Grace, can I ask you a question? Sure. What's happening to the sun? The whole class suddenly grew much more attentive. My dad says it's not a big deal, Michael said. My dad says it's a government conspiracy, said Tamora. Okay. I set the bin down and sat him on the edge of my desk. So basically, you know how there's algae in the ocean, right? Well, there's sort of space algae growing in the sun. Astrophage? Said Harrison. I almost slipped off the desk. Whoa, where did you hear that word? That's what they're calling it now, said Harrison. The president called it that in his speech last night. I'd been so isolated in that lab, I didn't even know that the president had given a speech. And holy cow, I invented a word for strat the day before. And that time, it got from her to the president to the media. Wow. Okay, yes, astrophage. And it's growing on the sun. Or near it. People aren't sure. So what's the problem, Michael asked. Algae in the ocean doesn't hurt us. Why would algae on the sun? I pointed to him. Good question. Thing is, astrophage is starting to absorb a lot of the sun's energy. Well, not a lot. Just a tiny percentage of that means Earth gets a tiny less bit of sunlight, and that can cause real problems. So, it'll be a little colder, like a degree or two, Abby asked. What's the big deal? You guys know about climate change, right? How our CO2 emissions have caused a lot of problems in the environment. My dad says that's not real tomorrow. Well, it is, I say. Anyway, all the environmental problems we have from climate change, they happen because the world's average temperature went up a half a degree. That's it. Just 1.5 degrees. How much will this astrophage stuff change Earth's temperature? Asked Luther. I stood and paced slowly in front of the class. We don't know. But if it breeds like algae, and it does, at about the same speed, climatologists are saying Earth's temperature could drop 10 to 15 degrees. What'll happen? Asked Luther. It'll be bad. Very bad. A lot of animals, entire species will die out because their habitats are too cold. The ocean water will cool down too, and that might cause an entire food chain to collapse. So even that could survive. The lower temperatures will starve to death because of things they eat all die off. The kids stared at me, awestruck. Excuse me. Why had their parents not explained this to them? Probably because they don't understand it themselves. Besides, if I had a nickel for every time I wanted to smack a kid's parents for not teaching them even the most basic things, well, I'd have enough nickels to put in a sock and smack them parents around with. Animals are going to die too? Abby asked, horrified. Abby rode horses competitively and spent most of her time at her grandfather's dairy farm. Human suffering is often an abstract concept to kids, but animal suffering is something else entirely. Yes, I'm sorry, but a lot of livestock will die, and it's worse than that. On land, crops will fail, the food we eat will become scarce. When that happens, the social order will break down, and I stopped myself there. These were kids. Why was I going this far? How? Abby began. I'd never seen her at a loss for words. How long before this happens? Climatologists think it'll happen within the next 30 years, I said. Just like that, all the kids relaxed. 30 years, Trang laughed. That's forever. It's not that long, I said. But a bunch of 12 and 13-year-olds, 30 years might as well have been a million. Can I be on Tracy's team for the rock sorting assignment? Asked Michael. 30 years. I looked at their little faces. In 30 years, they'd all be on their early 40s. Would they bear the blunt of it? And it wouldn't be easy. These kids were going to grow up in an idyllic world, were thrown into an apocalyptic nightmare. They were the generation that would experience the 6th extinction event. I felt a cramp in my pit of my stomach. I was looking out at the room full of children, happy children. There were good chance that some of them would literally die of starvation. I stammered. I have to go do a thing. Forget the rock assignment. What? Asked Luther. Do study hall. Study this hall for the rest of the hour. Just do homework from other classes. Stay in your seats, work quietly until the bell rings. I left the room without another word. I almost collapsed in the hall from the shakes. I went to the nearby drinking fountain and splashed water on my face. Then I took a deep breath, got some self-control back, and jogged to the parking lot. I drove fast. Way too fast. I ran red lights. I cut people off. I never do any of that. But that day was different. That day was, I don't even know. I screeched into the lab parking lot. I left my car parked at an odd angle. 2 U.S. Army soldiers at the door of the complex, just as they had been previous 2 days I'd been there working. I stormed past them. We should have stopped him. Should we have stopped him? I heard one of them ask. I don't care what the other response was. I stomped into the observation room. Strata was there, of course, reading her tablet. She looked up, and I caught a glimpse of genuine surprise on her face. Dr. Grace, what are you doing here? Past her, through the windows, I spotted 4 people in contaminated suits working in the lab. Who are they? I said, pointing at the window. And what are they doing in my lab? Can't say I like your tone, she said. I don't care. And that's not your lab. That's my lab. Those technicians are collecting astrophage. What are you going to do with it? She held her tablet under her arm. Your dream is coming true. I'm dividing up the astrophage and sending it to 30 different labs around the world. Everything from CERN to the CIA weapons biofacility. The CIA has a I began. Never mind. I want to do more work on this. She shook her head. You've done your part. We thought it was Andreas' life. Anhydrous life. Turns out it wasn't. You proved that. And since no alien exploded out of the world, out of your chest, we can consider the guinea pig phase over too. So you're done. No, I'm not done. That's a lot. There's a lot more to learn. Of course there is, she said. And I have 30 labs all eagerly waiting to get started on it. I stepped forward. Leave some astrophage here. Leave me some to work on. She stepped forward slowly. No. Why not? According to your notes, there were 174 living astrophage cells in that sample, and you killed one yesterday. So we're down to 173. She pointed to her tablet. Each of these labs, excuse me, each of these labs, huge national labs, will get 5 or 6 cells each. That's it. We're down to that level of scarcity. Those cells are 173 of the most important things on Earth right now. Our analysis of them will determine if humanity survived. She paused and spoke a little more softly. I get it. You spent your whole life trying to prove that life doesn't require water. Then unbelievably, you get some actual extraterrestrial life, and it turns out to need water. That's rough. Shake it off. Get back to your life. I've got it from here. I'm still a microbiologist who spent his career working up theoretical models for alien life. I'm a useful resource with a skill set that almost no one has. Dr. Grace, I don't have the luxury of leaving samples here to stroke your bruised ego. Ego? This isn't about my ego. This is about my children. You don't have children. Yes, I do. Dozens of them. They come to my class every day. They're all going to end up in a Mad Max nightmare world if we don't solve this problem. Yeah, I was wrong about the water. I don't care about that. I care about those kids. Fuck them kids. So give me some gosh darn astrophage. He's so good. He's so good with his verbiage. Gosh darn it, mother flapper. I wish I could do that. Fucking bitches. She stepped back and pursed her lips. She looked to the side, thinking it over. She then turned back to me. 3. You can have 3 astrophage. I unclenched my muscles. Okay. I breathed a little. I didn't realize how tense I'd been. Okay. 3. I can work with that. She typed on her tablet. I'll keep this lab open. It's all yours. Come back in a few hours. My guys will be gone. I was already halfway into the contamination suit. I'm getting back to work now. Tell your guys to stay out of my way. She glared at me, but didn't say anything further. I have to do this for my kids. I mean, they're not my kids, but they're my kids. I look at the screened array before me. I need to think about this. My memory is spotty. Seems relatable enough, but incomplete. Instead of waiting for an epiphany where I remember everything, what can I work out right now? Earth is in trouble. The sun is infected with astrophage. I'm in a spaceship in another solar system. This ship wasn't easy to build, and it had an international crew. We're talking about interstellar mission. Something that should be impossible with our technology. Okay, so humanity put a lot of time and effort into this mission, and astrophage was the missing link that enabled it. There's only one explanation. There's a solution to the astrophage problem here, or a potential solution, something promising enough to dedicate a huge amount of resources. I scour the screen for more information. They seem to be the kinds of things you'd expect of a spaceship. Life support, navigation, the sort of things one screen labeled Beatles. The next screen over it says, wait, beetles? Okay, I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but I need to find out if there's a bunch of beetles on this ship. That's the sort of thing a guy needs to know. The screen is broken into 4 quadrants, each one showing nearly the same thing. A little schematic, a bunch of text information. The schematics each show bulbous, elongated shapes with a pointed head and a trapezoid on its backs. If you tilt your head just right and squint, I suppose it kind of looks like a beetle. Each beetle also has a name on top. John, Paul, George, and Ringo. Yeah, I get it. I'm not laughing, but I get it. I arbitrarily pick one beetle, John, and give it a good look. John is no insect. I'm pretty sure he's a spaceship. The trapezoidal in the rear is labeled spin drive, and the entire bulbous part is labeled fuel. The little head has a computer labeled and a radio labeled. I take a little closer look. The fuel info box says astrophage, 120 kilogram temp, 96.415 Celsius. The computer box says last memory checked 3 days ago, 5 terabyte functioning correctly. The radio info just says status 100%. Night, Carissa! Good night, good night, good night! It is an unmanned probe, something small, I guess. Just the entire mass of fuel is just 120 kilograms. That's not a lot, but a little astrophage goes a long ways. There aren't any scientific instruments labeled. What's the point of an unmanned ship with nothing on board? Wait, what if the 5 terabytes of storage is the point of the ship? A realization draws on me. Aw, shucks, I say. I'm out in space, in another solar system. I don't know how much astrophage it took to get here, but it will probably a lot. Sending a ship to another star probably took an absurd amount of fuel. Sending that ship to another star brings it back would take 10 times as much. I checked the astrophage panel, refresh my memory. Remaining 20,862 kilograms. Consumption 6.043 grams a second. The consumption rate was 6.45 grams per second before, so it's gone down a little bit. The amount of fuel went down. Basically, as fuel gets consumed, the total mass of the ship goes down, so it needs less fuel to maintain the constant acceleration. Okay, that all makes sense. I have no idea what the Hail Mary's mass is, but to be able to shove it along at 1.5 Gs of acceleration on a few grams of fuel per second, astrophage is amazing stuff. Anyway, I don't know exactly how consumption rate will change over time. I mean, I could work it out, but it's just consumption. But it's just complicated. Sorry. For now, I'll just approximate that it's 6 grams per second. How long will that fuel last? It's nice to have a jumpsuit on. I've got pockets for all sorts of knickknacks. I still haven't found a calculator, so I'll do the math with pen and paper. Grand total, I'll run out of fuel in about 40 days. I don't know what that star is, but it's not the sun, and there's just no way to get to any other star to Earth with just 40 days of acceleration at 1.5 Gs. It probably took years to get here from Earth, which might be why I was in a coma, interestingly. Anyways, this can only mean one thing. The Hail Mary isn't going home. This is a one-way ticket, and I'm pretty sure the Beatles are how I'm supposed to send information back to Earth. There's no way I have a radio transmitter powerful enough to broadcast several light years. I don't even know if that would even be possible to build. So instead, I have these little Beatles ships with 5 terabytes of information each. They'll fly back to Earth and broadcast their data. There's 4 of them for redundancy. I'm probably supposed to put copies of my finding in each one and send them all home. If at least one survives the journey, the Earth is saved. It has pockets! I'm on a suicide mission. John, Paul, George, and Ringo get to go home. But my long, winding road ends here. I must have known all this when I volunteered. That line. But to my amnesia-ridden brain, this is new information. I'm going to die out here, and I'm going to die alone. Ah! Damn, the next chapter is 58 minutes. These are some fucking honkers, dog. Oh my God. Good googly moogly. Chapter 5 is 50 freaking, it's a 58 minutes. What's chapters? Yeah, 1 second. And chapter 6 is 50. Damn! We got to get started quick tomorrow night, y'all. Woo! All right. That is hilarious. I'm not putting it on yet, right? No, there's only 4 of us here. We got to wait. So, anyway, I just put that right there. That goes right there. All right. Oh, almost knocked my cup over. Oh, you brought him out really quick? Here we go. Here we got here. So we got here. She wanted to bring her little things in. As you see, we got Michael and Dwight. We got Michael and Dwight. And then we got a Pam and Angela. Jim and Pam. I'm sorry, I thought you just brought I was Jim and Pam. Jim and Pam. I'm tired, y'all. But anyway. Oh, nice. And then you finished. And this is her necklace she made for when we go to the concert.
Wise face made that one.
Wise, yeah. The Wise made this one. So we have to keep showing them all. All right. But yes.
I'm making one for the rest of them.
Nice. Thank you, love. All right. But yes. So tomorrow night, we'll get another 2 in, but they are long chapters. So we're going to get started early tomorrow. We won't be no dilly-dallying. But for the 6 of y'all, 5 or 6 of y'all that have stayed here tonight, I tell you what, let's get some buttons in. I'm gonna go with that one. Bell, M, Vega, Bloom Street. Nice to meet you. What buttons would y'all like? Y'all get your own button on the way out. If y'all still awake. They said thank you, ma'am. Bell wants to really, you got it, love. All right, so I'm another Minorian. I'm glad you're liking it. I'm glad you're liking it. John figured P, you might miss him another. Once I get all these other buttons updated, I think I'm gonna make it straight up. I might have to make it straight up. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right, friends. I want to thank y'all for joining me tonight, and y'all 6 MVPs for hanging in on the long run and joining me. I know it's the middle of the week, y'all on the East Coast, some of y'all, so sticking with me. I appreciate y'all. Thank you all so much, and we will see you tomorrow night. Thank you, loves. Have a great one.